Hi everyone. All right, so I was in one of my previous reviews. Actually, I believe it was in the last review. I had mentioned a car accident during my road trip, which cut my CD shopping time down. Unfortunately, after the accident, we just weren't in the mood to keep going to stores for CDs. But one of the CDs, we picked up quite a few CDs actually before that point. One of the CDs I picked up, Deep Purple Machine Head, the anniversary 2 CD edition with a 28-page booklet. Okay, I bought this $15 used. I have been trying to get my hands on a copy, a remastered copy of Machine Head forever. And the reason I've been trying to get my hands on a remastered copy of Machine Head forever is due to the fact that I have had the Machine Head tribute album where, a bunch of bands got together and covered the entire album, but I couldn't find anything other than the standard AAD, which would be analog recorded, analog mixed, master, and then digitally convert or digitally transferred. Lowest possible CD recording quality sound you get, where the vinyl is definitely infinitely better than the CD is. When everybody talks about how CDs are cold and sterile and vinyl sounds better, that's from the early days of the transfers of the analog music to digital and doing no remastering, no tweaking or anything. Remasters are important for that reason. You get the tweaks, you get the polishes, you get the fix-ups. Now, this has two CDs. CD one has 10 tracks, so it has the original album, and then it has some B-sides for it, or some extras. And then you have the Roger Glover remixes, which is disc 2. The Roger Glover remixes are not bad. Some of them I actually thoroughly enjoy. I thought they were really well done. Some of them not so fond of. Now, remixing in this case is mostly, it sounds like, remixing the balance, like the balance of the levels on the individual instruments and whatnot. The drums feel a little bit different on them as well. I don't want to say that it's I don't want to say that the remixes are not as good in a lot of cases. It's just, it sounds like the keyboards have been pushed a little bit, the guitars have been pulled back a little bit, the drums are kind of pushed a little bit. The whole way around, it's just not the same flavor as the original album, but still great all the same way around. One thing I did not realize with this album is I'm going to have to get my hands on a vinyl copy. I don't have my hands on a vinyl copy. I'm going to have to take a look at a vinyl copy. I always thought that there were 8 tracks on the original album, and if I go by this, there wasn't, unless they've used an alternate version. When a Blind Man Cries. Someone in the comments down below, let me know on this one. When a Blind Man Cries, I always assumed that was on the original album because, like I said, I've got the one that's been redone by everybody. And Metallica does When a Blind Man Cries on there. And because Metallica did that, I always assumed, and I should have known Metallica does the B-sides or the weird odd tracks. But I always thought that this was on the album originally because it sounds like the perfect song to close out the album, right? It's just got that perfect vibe to it. And when you look at the Roger Glover remixes, it is there. So I don't know if it's they used the B-side version or if it was an actual B-side. And I guess I could research this, but since I got my phone recording this, I'm not checking on my phone right now. And my computer room is dismantled because I'm moving to a new room in the house for using my computer. Um, let's get into the album. All right, 5 minutes talking about the warm up to this album. Let's actually get into the album's up with the Highway Star. If it wasn't for the fact of how many times I've heard Highway Star, I'd love the song a lot more. But Highway Star is one of the most, next to Smoke on the Water, is probably the most overplayed, or was the most overplayed um, Deep Purple tune. And even without that, of all the Deep Purple tunes, like all the big hits, Highway Star's actually always been one of my least favorite. It's got a great rhythm for driving to, man. It's hard to keep that car at the speed limit when Highway Star kicks in, man. You just kind of, but yeah, you know. Then we get into the next song on the album, Maybe I'm a Leo. I don't mind the tune, but of all the songs on this album, this one is by far the worst. This is, to me, the only song on the album that stops the album from actually being a perfect 10. I don't mind it, but it does very little or nothing to me. Pictures of Home, fantastic tune. Really dig into this one while it's going. It is one of those songs that I don't think of overly while the album's not playing, but man, while the album's playing, am I soaked right into it. Same with the next tune as well, Never Before. These are songs that I've enjoyed over the years, but never overly got saturated by them on the radio. And even my own parents, like my dad, more of a Deep Purple fan, I think, than my mom was. At least when I was a kid growing up, my dad was more of a Deep Purple fan than my mom was. And I don't remember my dad even playing this album a whole lot. I don't even know if my dad had this album. I know I had an uncle that had this album. But, you know, because of that, I didn't get oversaturated, didn't get overexposed to these songs. So I still thoroughly enjoy these songs while this album's going. And then we hit the main Deep Purple song, the one, the only, Smoke on the Water. And I'm sorry, man, I don't care how many times this song has been played. This is one of those few songs that I know has been way overplayed to death. But when that first riff comes on, man, you know, you get that. As soon as that hi-hat kicks it, it's like, oh yeah, here we go. And you just feel the gas pedal going down a little lower and a little lower. And then it's, we all get out to Montreux on the Legend Eva shoreline. You know, man, you're up and you're gone, man. I just smoke on the water, a fire in the sky. You know, yeah, man. Just sorry. You're never gonna be able to get me to say no to that song, I don't think. Then we're into Lazy. Lazy is a really cool tune, man. Lazy is one of those songs that you don't realize how much you like it until you're sitting there listening and going, man, where's this song been all my life? All right. Now, I've always debated over what my favorite Deep Purple song is. Knocking at Your Back Door has definitely always been one of the biggest contenders. But there is only one Deep Purple song I've ever actually taken the time to learn on any instrument. And that is Space Truckin', which I took the time to learn on bass. I mean, obviously, I've fucked around on the drums doing Smoke on the Water a little bit, you know, getting that intro, that, yeah, takes a little work to get it down, but, you know, everybody's got to learn how to practice that. But Space Truckin', man, that, oh man, love that song. And then you get singing on, you know, come on, let's go, Space Trucker, come on. Yeah, you know, and that's another one, man. You know, driving the car. This album is a dangerous album to drive a car to. Oh my god, it's so dangerous. This is I believe this is what they used to call Camaro rock, man. You just here I have my little Fiat making a growl like a beast down the highway, you know. Um, I love Space Trucking though, man. Oh, such a good tune. Then you got When a Blind Man Cries. All right, so I love this song. The very first time I actually ever heard it, distinctly remember hearing it, was Metallica's version of it. And James Hetfield, I mean, James having to sing Ian Gillian, yeesh, that's rough for James to start with. But When a Blind Man Cries, man, that is a brilliant song. The band picked the right song for it, man. I mean, they could have smashed Space Truckin' easily. They could have smashed Smoke on the Water easily. And if Metallica said they wanted to do Space Truckin', Metallica would have been given it. Metallica said they wanted to do Highway Star, they would have been given it. Metallica said they wanted to do Smoke on the Water, they would have been given it. No, Metallica did When a Blind Man Cries, and they mastered it. And I know I'm talking about the Metallica version. Now, the Deep Purple version, oh, Ian's voice, oh. Everybody, when it comes to metal, it's always Bruce Dickinson, Rob Halford, and then usually get someone else thrown in there. You know, it could be anybody. Most of the time, Dio. Everybody leaves out Ian Gillan, and it really is annoying because he really should not be left out. He is by far. I mean, he could do Dio Sabbath, no problem. He could do Ozzy Sabbath, no problem. He could. I'd like to see if he could do some Judas Priest. That'd be kind of fun, man. Ian Gillian out there doing Breaking the Law. That'd be awesome. What I'm trying to get at is Ian really should be up there in the pantheon, like on the Mount Rushmore of heavy metal vocalists, like the true Mount Rushmore of heavy metal vocalists. Ian should be on it, man, because that high scream of his, man. There would be no Bruce Dickinson without Ian. There wouldn't. You know, people could say what they want, but Ian set the stage for that, you know. Okay, you got Maybe I'm a Leo, the quadraphonic mix, and then Lazy, the quadraphonic mix. It's really interesting they put the quadraphonic mixes on here. And if you got surround sound, the quadraphonic mix isn't going to be too bad. Without surround sound, the quadraphonic mix doesn't quite work the same. In my car, the quadraphonic mix was really interesting to hear, so that's not bad. And then, like I said, disc 2 is the Roger Glover remixes. And I think the remixes were pretty cool. They were enjoyable. If you can find this used, because I know it's not in print right now, pick it up. I found it used for, I think it was $15. I got a deal. I think it's a real deal. 2 discs, the remixes, everything's remastered, the sound's quality. Really good deal. Really love this album, and I highly, highly recommend this album to anybody. Machine Head in general, anybody should have. I'm actually disappointed in myself that I've taken so many years to pick it up because it really is such a good album, and I really should have bought it years ago. But like I said, I couldn't get a remaster of it, and I didn't have a record player forever. So going out and buying a vinyl of it to me was kind of pointless. There is a good possibility I might actually go out and buy a vinyl still, just to do as a comparison to this. And I really gonna finish this one up here, man. This is a must-have album. Everybody really should on Machine Head. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Am I overpraising this album? Underpraising this album? Do you have the special edition version? And please, can someone clarify for me in the comments down below with When a Blind Man Cries? You know, I appreciate that. Okay, folks, like button, subscribe button, bell for notification. If you could hit those, I'd really appreciate it as well. I'm getting close to 170 subscribers. It's been 5 years. It's about time. If you guys could really keep subscribing, I'd appreciate it. I'm going to keep putting these out. Let's see if we get up to 200 before the end of the year. That'd be really cool. I may start trying to do some more stuff over time as well. Once I get caught back up on doing album reviews and I get caught up on all the housework I got to get caught up on post-wedding tidy and whatnot, rearranging my house, all that other fun stuff. Um, there will be more stuff coming. I did enjoy doing the preview reviews and some other stuff. So drop me a comment down below. As I already said, peace, love, take care.